welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Modern at the request of Patreon subscriber Unrighteous Job, and this is Boros Land Destruction. I played a build of this deck for Job a long time ago on the channel. It was a massive success. It is still to this day one of the top 10 most viewed videos in the history of the channel. Shout out to Job for providing that, and shout out to all you sickos who like watching land destruction. I am one of those sickos though, as you know, if you follow this channel, and I'm excited to revisit this. We are several Modern formats away from where the last one happened. We had at least one Modern Horizon set come out. I think the last one came out right around when Lord of the Rings came out, because Palantir of Orthanc was a card we played one of. But now we're up to 3, because that thing is a unit. New cards that we're playing with. We've got White Orchid Phantom. When it enters, destroy a target non-basic land. Its controller may search your library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and shuffle. This can destroy tech lands like Ugin's Labyrinth. Or if your opponent just runs out of basic lands, a lot of Modern decks don't play that many right now. If you hit them with a couple effects like this, they will just be out of gas. Or you can hit your own Flagstones and ramp. You get to get the planes that Flagstones get when it dies, and you get to get the basic land that the Phantom gives you. Boom Bust is kind of the core interaction here. For 2 mana, destroy target land you control and target land you don't control. If you target Flagstones, you replace that land. If you target an indestructible land, you get to keep your land, and they lose one. Just straight up sinkhole. Then we got 4 copies of Pillage. The original, the GOAT. And Stone Rain was an alpha, but this is one of the earliest modal cards, I think, where you got to do 2 things. And it was cool, because if they didn't have a land you want to blow up, you could kill an artifact. Fun. But yeah, Pillage is here. Full boat of those. If your opponent has absorbed a couple White Orchid Phantoms and now their basic lands are in play, you could pillage their basic lands, and then maybe they have no mana at all. Obsidian Charmaw, 4x in the main. Eldrazi is popular right now, and games go along with this. You'll eventually just be able to cast it. You gotta win somehow. A 4/4 dragon is pretty good at doing that, and it just has pretty reasonable text in certain matchups, and it's on theme for Boros Land Destruction. Then we got the lock pieces. Suppression Field. Activated abilities cost 2 more to activate unless they're mana abilities. This includes fetch lands, which is great if you've already pillaged your opponent a couple times. This is the One Ring. Make that cost mana to activate. This is Psychic Frog. The Jump or the Grow both cost 2 mana per time you want to do it. This is Goblin Bombardment. Really slow down that Boros energy endgame. There's a lot of things we want to suppress. Any Planeswalker works. Those are all activated abilities. Suppression Field's a sicko, and 4x in the main deck. Ghostly Prison. Creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature they control that's attacking you. This gets harder to do if you're also killing their lands. This card, not very good against a deck like Murktide that's just going to solo you with 1 giant creature. It's very good against like Boros Energy, where they have a lot of 1 and 2 power things. Wrath of the Skies, generic sweeper against decks that are slowed down by Ghostly Prison, then you sweep up all their stuff before they could kill you. Prismatic Ending out of respect for Psychic Frog. Pillage, just a great new Boros card that we could play, and games are going to go long, and we got to win somehow. And 1 main deck, Magus of the Tabernacle. Let's go. All creatures have at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice this unless you pay 1. That's hard to do if your lands are being destroyed. It's hard to do if you then need mana to attack with Ghostly Prison. We're just taxing mana while removing mana. This is a deck that makes a lot of sense on paper. Whether it lines up against our opponents today is going to be a different story. All we could do is play out the matches and see, but I'm very excited to play this. I love decks like this. Let's get into it. This is Boros Land Destruction Prison by Unrighteous Job. I'm on the draw in round 1 with a hand that's a little awkward, but I am going to keep it. With a second white, I'm ramping with Orchid on turn 2. I have Pillage and Prison to start the squeeze. Pillage can catch me up if I fall behind. I'm in for it. A Boom Bust, a White Source, all great draws here. Suppression Field, happy to see that one. Flagstone's going in. Let's see what this Misty Rainforest deck has for me. They've got a fetch and a Lush Portico. Bidding Force of Negation. Okay. Hopefully they see my flagstones and think I'm white weenie, because Force Negation is actually really good against many aspects of my deck. Got a tapped Breeding Pool. And I've got another Suppression Field. The cool thing about Suppression Field here is even if they play Teferi next turn, they can't bounce it, because that costs 2. And then by the time they untap, it's going to cost 4. Or they're only going to have 2 lands. Oh, Force Negation, pitching Ardent Plea. Okay, so we're playing against Rhinos. And they just pitched a Cascade card. They must need a fetch land to get mana number 3, because you don't really care about Suppression Field that much as Rhinos. Unless you're just in the garbage somehow already. Okay, I can pillage one of their lands here. Now that I know they're Rhinos, I'm not actually highly incentivized to suppress their field. And if they hardcast Force Negation, that's just going to happen no matter what. I'm trying to take them off white here, because that is the color I could take them off. I wonder if they didn't have Otawara in their hand, because the Ardent Plea pitching off the Force when going into... But cascading into Rhinos, none of those are activated abilities. I wonder what happened there, like what the sequence actually was. They were A, worried about Suppression Field, B, so worried that they'd pitch their payoff spell in their deck. But okay, here we go. Obsidian Charmaw doesn't play this turn, pretty good next turn. I don't think I'm going to Suppression Field. I think I'm going to White Orchid Phantom my own Flagstones this turn and get up to Charmaw. Destroy Flagstones. Yes, use the ability. Get my last basic out of the deck. Got to be careful for future effects like that. Plenty of non-basic planes to grab, though. And now I'm on board. If they get to 4 mana, they are representing subtlety. Things they could just cast like that. Instead, they played nothing at all. Alright. Big Charmaw. Go get him. Kill that Breeding Pool. Oh, yeah. Zapia. We could get Tishana's Tidebindered here, but I don't think they have that. I think they have just nothing somehow. Handful of white cards, probably. Would be my guess. They're just passing again without a land drop. White Orchid Phantom might actually turn on a color for them, which I don't want to do. I'm going to attack with these things. They're at 11. I could play a Suppression Field, see if they want to pitch counter this again, because it does mess up their next fetch land really bad. And here's Flage. Helixia. 8 to 23. 6 cards in their hand. Fetch land costs 2. Boseiju costs 2 more. Oh yeah. Pillaged right out of the game. Okay. So Cascade spell in the deck. Gonna assume this is Rhinos. I didn't... Oh, if they are Living End, Suppression Field is actually devastating, and it would explain why they were so worried about it. Is Living End a Bant constructed deck these days? And Bant gets you the most Cascade spells. I guess this could be Living End. There's some world where that's possible. Okay, I think Trinisphere and Wrath of the Skies come in regardless. Prismatic Ending, really bad versus Living End. Medium bad versus Rhinos. Lightning Bolt bad versus both. Magus of the Tabernacle, potential insane hero versus Living End. I like all these cards no matter what. Solitude good versus both. Yeah, Solitude has to come in. Yeah, the Wrath is awkward because it's really bad versus Living End and really good versus Rhinos. Maybe I hedge and just leave in the main deck Wrath, bring in the Solitudes, and don't bring in the extra Wraths. Yeah, I don't actually know what their deck is. Oh, Drannith Magistrate's going to be good regardless. Got to get that one in. Almost missed it up there. I see you now. Don't worry. You can stop screaming at your monitors. Shave 1 Palantir. It is a legendary artifact. Don't want to draw 2 of those. Maybe I don't need the Magus, though it is really fun and just a delight to me. It's a 2/6. It just has the biggest ass you've ever seen. Ghostly Prison, good against both things. Maybe I'll shave 1 Charmaw. I am bringing in a bunch of extra creatures here. Let's do it. Okay, no specific hate, no land destruction. I do have Solitude, that's good. And Palantir draws cards. I'm in. I have Cataracts if I draw Boom Bust. That's Cascading Cataracts. My eyes are fine. Thank you for being concerned. Put them all to 5. Hedge Maze. Can we get any information about what their deck is? There's some universe that they are the Warp World. Okay, nope. Living End confirmed. Glad I had that thought at the very end that maybe this is what they're doing. The Maw. It pass. Kind of wish I had way more Magus of the Tabernacles in my deck right now than I do. Boom Bust would be nice, though. Sinkhole. on the draw, catch right up, take the play. Knowing that they're living end, they were definitely correct to counter the suppression field game 1. A fetch shock and pass. Sunbaked Canyon, not what I wanted. I'm just going to play out this basic Plains and pass. They're activating a Waker of Waves in the end step. Ooh, press the enemy. Return target spell or non-land permanent. An opponent controls to its owner's hand. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell with equal or less mana from your hand without paying its mana cost. Okay, sick. I mean, that's a cool trick. Never seen that card in my life. But that is a way to interact with other decks while cashing out living ends that have been stuck in your hand. Okay, Shardless Agent's coming. I can pitch Pillage to Solitude here, and then Solitude will come back and do something. This might turn on Subtlety or Endurance out of them, and then they get an extra creature, and I just whiff. And it's probably not enough anyway. But this is where Magus and Ghostly Prison come in. I can actually grind out of this. I answer their 7/7. Good job, me. Inspiring Vantage. The last turn that would have been useful. I'll take it. Palantir of Orthonk. And they've snapped off a Force on it, which does constrict my options, but also makes it so my next prison piece is more likely to resolve. I will trade Solitude for Shardless Agent. Solitude's not getting any better than this. It's gained me 15 life already, basically. Arena of Glory. Okay, now I have to decide if casting this Charmaw is even something I'm considering, or if I should just draw a card with Sunbaked Canyon, and I guess I will. Chill with the Charmaw. That can beat Street Wraith in combat, and then I have to deal with the Riverwinder. Hexproof is a real mechanic, though. Milled over a Generous Ent, and cycled a Generous Ent. They're all in over there. Tutored up a basic Forest. I go to 7 from this attack, and then I can go to 2, and then I got to answer this giant hexproof creature somehow. Cataracts, Charmaw. If they've drawn Subtlety, I just lose. It's fine. Not beating that ever. Destroy a blue source so they can't play Subtlety in the future, or Force of Negation. I don't control a swamp. Safe from Street Wraith. They are attacking. And if they just living end again, my graveyard is Solitude and theirs is all this shit. Ooh. The Doctor. I'm going to play Suppression Field first, and then Drannith Magistrate. I can double block the Riverwinder, but then that kills Drannith. Okay, that's in there. I think I just have to double block. If I chump, I just lose 2 turns out. If they just have like Brazen Borrower here, it doesn't matter, and they got me beat anyway. Cycling costs 1 million now. Sunbaked Canyon also costs more because of Suppression Field. These are mana abilities, so they're not affected. Funny story about this Living End matchup is Job had a bunch of Rest in Peace in the sideboard when we first started working on this deck from the previous iteration, and I worked with Job on this update. That's a thing we can do, by the way, if you're interested. If you have a pet deck or something you want for an upcoming tournament, I do offer coaching in addition to playing your deck and tuning it on the channel. Reach out. My contact info is in the video description if that's something you're interested in. But anyway, there were a bunch of Rest in Peace, and then we started talking about Pillage, and we were like, well, we can't really play Rest in Peace with Pillage. And then we kind of got to the point of it was like, well, who's really playing Living End anymore anyway? And we could just play Drannith Magistrate, and that covers it. And it's just funny that the first match we paired into was actually Living End. Well, folks, in an awkward twist, my opponent disconnected from the match and I won. I don't think this was a rage disconnect, because they're actually just fine if they attack, eat the Drannith Magistrate, and then they have 19 life to rebuild the next Living End, and then they win easily. So, hope their internet's okay. On to the next round. We take them.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the draw for round 2 with the prison draw. I'll keep it. Okay, we got some Eldrazi over there. I have Pillage and Ghostly Prison. Eldrazi, some builds have fetch lands in them. Some are just ramming monsters into play. We'll see what we got here. Well, there's Charmaw. Pretty happy to see that, honestly. We'll see if I can do anything before they get ahead. This would have been a great match to be on the play for. And you always want to be on the play? Oh my goodness. They kept a one-lander with Devourer, exiled 4 non-lands, and whiffed. Let's go. This is what I trained my whole life for. I'm going to Suppression Field. I don't even know if that does anything here, but if they miss right now, I can pillage their first land, and I think we'll get a Rage Scoop. Oh my goodness, they're going to clean up. Have you ever just been an Eldrazi player who keeps a one-lander and Devour of Destiny whiffs, and then you happen to have paired into the Pillage player in 2024? Uggin's Lab, that's lucky. If I draw a land and start Charmawing, I'm going to be living my best life. Okay, let's see what we got here. Come on, land. Oh, well, I'll take that too. You want to turn that into a basic? They do have a forest. That would have been such a good draw. Disappointing. They're chilling on forest over there. Boom bust, let's go. Let's go. And it's sick that my indestructible land is not even the best thing to boom. I'll destroy my flagstones in your forest. Want to keep playing? Sacred Foundry, tapped. Attack for 2. I'll just bolt them in the end step here. I don't think I'm going to have to kill creatures, and getting them dead matters. Ancient Stirrings. Took 1 to cast it. Cavern of Souls. Okay. The land still starts Charmawing. Bolt here might be a little aggressive, but I am going to do it. Come on, land. Second Suppression Field. Tough beats. White Orchid Phantom, go get him. I'm going to invest in my Ghostly Prison here. I don't want that Thought Not Seared, because I am currently ruining their life. I'd be so disappointed if they dig out of this just because I never drew a 4th land. But now I can Charmaw, because they have 2. Sowing Mycospawn can tutor a land. Eldrazi Temple. I'm going to maw the Uggin's Lab. That is a better 2-mana land than the other one. I can maw again next turn, and now I'm bashing for real damage. Let's get it. This is a Through the Breach build if they have Emrakul the Aeon Store and red is their splash color. I could just get Emrakuled, but I even have Solitude to stabilize versus that. And this is why something like Obsidian Charmaw needs to be in the deck, because you need to actually win the game, and we've just been farting around so long that opponent is playing just fine right now. Hopefully the second Charmaw gets it done, though. I took a damage I didn't need to take last turn because I forgot they ramped into a 3rd land. Take out Eldrazi Temple. 6 flying, dead on board. Let's go. I don't lose to Emrakul. Yeah! Obviously, I got insanely lucky and they got insanely unlucky there, but still, we did it. I like Solitude. I don't really like Wrath of the Skies. Wrath of the Skies and Prismatic Ending, both pretty mid. Suppression Field does very little here as well. I don't have that many things to bring in. And Magus does have a big butt. And if they make a bunch of spawns ever, that's really bad for them. I think the Suppression Fields are going to go out. And I'm going to bring these 4 cards in. Wrath of the Skies, they did show me Talisman. Prismatic Ending could get a Talisman. I'm certainly not going to try to Trinisphere this deck. Drannith doesn't matter. Sun Cleanser doesn't matter. Yeah, or I mean, we're mostly main decked for a deck like this. Pre-boarded. I wouldn't expect a lot to happen out of the sideboard. Keep. Devour of Destiny. They're starting the game off like that again. I got Pillage and Charmaw here. It will just depend how far ahead of me they are when they get there. I'll feel really good once I have a white card in my hand. They exiled 3 things, which means they are not spinning desperately for a land this time. Go over the Burn Willows Forest. Talisman. Okay, I can exile the Talisman, but I think keeping the Prismatic Ending as a white card for Solitude if they go like Uggin's Lab Through the Breach this turn is probably a better use of that. 1 ring. Well, wasn't really ready for that. Probably should have been. Okay, I can pillage their forest. I want to leave them with the groves because those reduce my Charmaw. Oh, I could have Charmawed there. 2, 3. Yeah, what am I doing? That was just weird. Why would I want to apply pressure when I could not apply pressure instead? For some reason, I thought that that wouldn't work. Obviously, not correct. A Devourer is now under Ugin's Lab. They could send a Through the Breach here, which would gain them 15 life. Ooh, a fresh One Ring. Okay. That's not very good. Ooh, I can kill 2 lands now. Or I can suppress their One Ring. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Oh, wait. I boarded out Suppression Field. This is White Orchid Phantom, and my head was like Suppression Field. All right, Suppression Field does have targets. I blew it. This costs 2. Destroy Ugin's Lab. Take the Devourer with you. Prismatic Ending. I can White Orchid Phantom one of their groves, which adds a creature to the board. I could White Orchid my Flagstone, which ramps me. I could also Prismatic End their Talisman. I think I'm definitely adding to the board. I don't think flipping a grove is useful. I guess how many basics do I think they play? Let's find out. My opponent is freaking the fuck out in the chat right now. We did it. We did it. Oh, they only have 1 basic. Yeah, they're freaking out. And they said, how does this win in any other matchup? And I said, I'm undefeated right now. GG's. Gave them the preemptive GG's. And they said, I know that's a lie. Well, it's on video. I'm literally undefeated. I got 6 power to play. They only play the 1 basic. Honestly, if they didn't freak out in chat, I probably would have attacked my own land. And now they said they looked it up and I've never played this deck before. Of course not. But I am undefeated. You can watch the video next week. And boy, will you look silly. You're doomed 25. And they got Emrakul under Ugin's Lab. And it's funny, I gave them the preemptive GGs and this game is not close to over. But I'm having fun. Another Ugin's Lab. All his dust under there. All his dust could stabilize. I'm doing a lot of damage though. Attack with my creatures. Resolve Palantir of Orthonk. I have Lightning Bolt for some surprise damage. Ghostly Prison Solitude. I'm going to go top. So when they mill this, they get 5'd. Okay. Didn't fall for it. They know their life total's in trouble. But now I have Solitude in my hand. Palantir survives all his dust if they put it in their hand and then cast it. Through the Breach resolves. Ulamog the Defiler. This has Ward, sack 2 permanents. All right, so this has Annihilator Million. I'm going to sack Flagstones to clear this. Okay, do I have lethal? No, because I'm going to give them 22 life. Okay. At beginning of combat, Solitude, exile Prismatic Ending, target Ulamog, Ward, sack 2 permanents. I think it's the Phantom and the Flagstones. I mean, Flagstones is Freezies. Yeah, Sacred Foundry out here. They do gain 1,000,000 life here. Now, whether I kill Sowing Mycospawn or save this bolt for face, I think I just bolt the Mycospawn and it's not really close. Okay, there's that. Now we got to deal 30. Drawing cards. Okay, I'm going to attack for 4. That one just happens. And then, am I more worried about All His Dust or Emrakul? And I think it's Emrakul. I get to tag that Ugin's Lab. Emrakul's gone forever. We know there's no basics. Palantir, Boom Bust. Okay. I'm going to go bottom top. Boom Bust deals 8 if they flip it. And if I cast Bust, they're dead. Okay, they took 8. Now they're back to 15. I am in trouble too. Another Through the Breach. They got 6 mana over there. 10 cards in hand. Another One Ring. Go for it. Ancient Stirrings. Sowing Mycospawn. I'm not ready to cash in Sunbaked Canyon. Feel like I want to cast some mana. Inspiring Vantage. I will put that into play. Casting Solitude will happen eventually. Palantir doesn't even happen this turn because it targets. They're at 14 from the ring. Drawing 2 more cards. Karplusan Forest. And the last ring, that's all 4 of them. And Sowing Mycospawn gets to tutor a land. I believe that's all the Ugin's Labyrinths as well. Putting Devourer of Destiny under there. And Talisman of Impulse. Okay, ring doesn't happen again. I'm not going to crack Sunbait Canyon because having Solitude up is how I fend off another Through the Breach, which is their win con. They are at 10 mana, so just casting Eldrazi is live. Probably can't deck them because Emrakul the Aeon's Torn is in their deck somewhere. I would love to draw a Boom Bust and just send the full Armageddon at this point. That's what I want the most in the world. There's 3 of them still in the deck. 7 mana in the pool. All is Dust can defeat my creatures. They were doing very little anyway. Talisman. And they attack for 3. They're not under the ring this turn, but I don't think playing Solitude to an empty board is what I want to be doing. To just deal damage. They're Besageoing my Orthonk. Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll get basic Mountain here, so it's untapped. And then I can play the other Orthonk. Flagstones and pass. Pillage and Palantir, the third Palantir, and Pillage. All right. Bottom, top. Pillage is good wherever it goes here. Milled Pillage, win con. They go to 8 from the ring. There's 3 more Through the Breaches in here. And most of their deck has been demonstrated at this point. Here's Through the Breach. It's another Ulamog. Did they set up 2 of them? Activating the ring. Beginning of combat. Solitude. They can Through the Breach again before attacks, but I have to act now before I get annihilated. Okay, ward, sack 2 permanents. It'll be the basic Mountain and the Flagstones. These creatures are enormous. The Solitude, not a great answer, but it's better than being dead. They're still attacking. Yeah, I'll just block Destabilize at this point. There's an All is Dust under the Ugin's Lab. There's a Devourer. They have a million ways to answer Solitude. Boom Bust, my best draw. Come on, Boom Bust. 6 mana, win the game. Cascading Cataract's not it. I can draw with Canyon here, because I still have 6 mana if I draw Boom Bust. Lightning Bolt's not it. Okay. Cataracts, Pillage, deal 3 to you, I gain 3 life. Emrakul doesn't even actually kill me, just deals 15, and I sack a bunch of permanents. This looks like a giant Kozilek's command. Yep. They're going to exile Pillage and scry 7, draw a card. If they can't figure out how to win from here, they don't deserve it. Palantir triggers, Pillage and Magus. I don't want these cards. I think they'll mill them. I'm going to go top. I hope they just take 7 here. They did just take 7. That's what I wanted. If they hit me with Emrakul, I can just leave Palantir as my permanent, bolt them on the way through. If they have an Ulamog, that will get all my permanents. Oh, it's Emrakul. Okay, they might even die to their own ring. And if they have 2 of them, that'll be enough. Okay, they found the line. Okay, we got to win game 3 against this Rager. Suppression Field coming back in. Tabernacle sucks. Wrath of the Sky is still reasonable. Maybe Wrath of the Sky sucks. Okay. Lightning Bolt might be worse, but we were so close to finishing them off with damage. Okay, I'll go like this. Hand is fine, I will keep. They kept and revealed a Devourer. Sacred Foundry pass. Grove, all is dust exiled. Ancient Stirrings. Eldrazi Temple revealed. Drew Lightning Bolt. Basically never want that. Suppression Field. That makes the One Ring worse, makes Beseiju worse. I can slam Obsidian Charm on next turn. Destroy that Eldrazi Temple, and then we're pushing damage. Unless they stir into their 1 basic, but having their 1 basic in play has its own risks attached. Talisman, Ugin's Lab. So Lab can ramp into Talisman, but I'd rather kill the Lab because that's a 2-for-1. Cataracts, Charmaw. Begin the Raging. Another Ugin's Lab. It's going to be another 2-for-1. Put All is Dust under that. And Resolving the Ring is always powerful, but you can't tap it. I wonder if they even noticed that. Try again, that costs 2. Dummy, read my cards. Pillage, White Orchid Phantom. I'm going to White Orchid Phantom because it gets me on board. Kill your land. You do get the basic this time, but I think pushing damage is worth it. The ring in play decoratively. There's the Eldrazi Temple. There's only 4 mana. They cannot go through the breach right now. They can Myco spawn. Grabbed another temple. Multiple Solitudes in my hand. That's nice. In for 6. If they have All Is Dust, playing out Ghostly Prison is bad. If they don't have All Is Dust, it's good. I could also just pillage this Eldrazi temple. I'll do that, actually. I don't want to have to go after a Emrakul that comes out of Through the Breach. They have 2 cards in hand, or 4 cards in hand. It would have to be land Through the Breach payoff for this to matter. And they just paid 2 life, or 2 mana to get their first ring. The ring's now dealing damage to them. Lightning Bolt that I debated boarding out, starting to look really good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If they draw a card with the ring, they're dead. And they won't know it till their upkeep. I might even slow roll them if they do that. Do we think that's funny? Revealed Emrakul. So they could be setting up the combo, or they could have just whiffed their face off on that Ancient Stirrings. Either one is viable. Okay, Ugin's Lab didn't imprint. So they are actually planning to use this Emrakul. Attack for 3. The first damage I've taken. Ouch. Rustvale Bridge. I will attack for 6 and hope they draw a card in the end step. Mana's being spent. Or are we exiling my thing? Okay, choose to target player scries X. All right, so they're choosing to draw a card this way rather than the other way. This will save them some action. They went 2 top, 1 bottom. They did find what they were looking for. Just bad news for me. I think I want to play Ghostly Prison and just make this harder for them. If they have All Is Dust, great job. But if they don't, if they just set up Through the Breach, I just shut it down. Gemstone Caverns. If their hand is Through the Breach Emrakul, that's it. Ghostly Prison wins the game. Yeah, they attacked and then pulled it back. It's like they didn't even bother to read a single card I've cast. Tisk Tisk. I'm going to shock in Sacred Foundry, which does Telegraph Solitude. But that's fine. Attack for 4. What do you got? Went to 2. Sick. It's your turn. I'm going to slow roll this Lightning Bolt as long as I feel like doing. You want to draw a card in the end step? I hope they set up an end step. Or they actually can't even Through the Breach here because each of their talismans or each of their red sources deals 1 damage. And so does the ring. Like they literally can't Through the Breach here. Toxic Bosh completely unlocked. This is where they show me some way they have to gain life that I forgot about. Tapping and untapping their mana a bunch of times. Activating the ring begrudgingly. Costs 1 million. I already have GG smiley face typed into the chat. Playing a fresh 1 ring. How about Lightning Bolt? GG smiley face bolt ya. They said, fuck you. That's fair. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. On the play in round 3, I have a Heartbreaker 1-lander. I'd keep this all day with 2, but I have to mulligan. Come on now. We're going to 5. Okay. We'll keep the 5. And bottom a Gigantha strategy. What do I think they're doing? Energy can be a Gigantha strategy. I think I'm going to bottom Pillage and Inspiring Vantage. This just keeps my interactive thing versus attacking creatures at the highest. Injegi could also be like Tron or a combo, and I've just done nothing at all. Tough Mauls though. A Marsh Flats. Mardu Energy, is that you? Ocelot Pride. I'm just going to bolt that. I'm just handling it now. Prismatic Ending can answer non-land permanents, and if I draw a 2-drop that I want to play, I do want to be able to curve it. Like if I drew Boom Bust that turn or the White Orchid Phantom. We are playing against Energy, which is a place where a Ghostly Prison could thrive. The Ghostly Prison plus Suppression Field combo, Arena of Glory, Amped. They did not exert this. This is just fair and square. And they hit a Johnny. Yeah, I mean, that's really good. I'm glad I saved this Prismatic Ending. Pillage, not helpful this turn, maybe next turn. Red, white, end the Ajani. I want to end this before they can flip it, and like Ghostly Prison can handle the rest of this stuff. Flagstones, keep this one under the Legend rule, tutor out a Sacred Foundry, and pass the turn. My plan for the rest of the game is cast Ghostly Prison and then pillage them, and then vibes. Dashing Ragavan, that starts to pull them ahead of the Ghostly Prison, but if they miss a land drop, that's pretty devastating. I don't really have any cards they could steal that I'd care about. Boom Bust, just enter the exile zone. Ocelot Pride, you have not gained life this turn. Palantir of Orthonk. Gotta put the shields up first. They can still attack with 2 of these creatures, or dash Ragavan and only attack with that. Could also have Static Prison and just blow me out. Yep, confirmed. I'm in the market for that main deck Wrath of the Skies at this point. We knew this matchup would be bad. There's a lot in the sideboard for it. Hope to get there soon. Doesn't look like I need to play much longer. Ragavan flipped Pillage. Didn't want that. Static Prison is an enchantment, unfortunately. And pillaging a Static Prison and unlocking a Ghostly Prison would be so sick. Boom Bust. Okay, we're good. We don't have to keep playing this. To the sideboard. Magus of the Tabernacle, Wrath of the Skies, Sun Cleanser, all coming in. Drannith Magistrate plays 2 just as a creature with 3 toughness, and it stops Amped. Right, let's see what we got. Even Solitude's reasonable. Charmaw actually really bad here. Pillage pretty bad too. Yeah, this matchup might be way less about destroying lands and more about being alive. I like the removal. Palantir's pretty slow. I don't need all 3 of those. Suppression Field, good against fetch lands and the One Ring. Boom Bust does let me, in the end game, cast Bust with a Tabernacle out, and then I win. I'm looking at Palantir and how it just doesn't affect the board, though it is also my source of card advantage. But I think this is the plan I'm going for. I don't have to bring in the Dranniths, but I think I want to. Yeah, let's do it. Sun Cleanser, Boom Bust. Let's go. Keep. Gigantha revealed. I need an artifact, indestructible land, or a flagstones for the sand to really work. If I'm just busting my lands fair and square, that's probably not a good plan. Inspiring Vantage, pass. Arid Mesa. Let's just cleanse the sun. Target opponent loses all counters and they can't get them. That includes energy. Elegant Parlor, fetched. I do have 8 enablers for Boom Bust, and only... Or is it 9? It might even be 9. Yeah, I have 9 enablers for Boom Bust and only 4 Boom Busts, and I have just flipped the script and drawn the other ones in large quantities instead of the one I want. Moment of truth. All right, another 4-drop. I don't think I even attack. Like, if they start dashing Ragavan into me and stuff, that's something resembling a plan. And I'm really not gonna just bust or boom. I'm not gonna boom just for fairsies. I refuse to do it. Arena of Glory. Static Prison. This can temporarily remove my Sun Cleanser. They don't get the energy, or do they? No, they do, because that happens first, sure. All right, Prismatic Ending is going to flip it here. They do get to Amped into Ocelot Pride. Not bad. And then I can Prismatic End the Pride or the Prison, probably the Prison. Inspiring Vantage, Prismatic Ending, name the Prison. Give me that back. Slurp that 3 energy off you. You won't need that. And still no good way to boom. But Magus of the Tabernacle might show up and be heckin' nuts here. Okay, so this makes Lightning Bolt kill my creature. I don't really want that to happen. I'll have a 2/6 in play next turn, and I don't have to think about that anymore. The One Ring. Yep, that's there. Drawing cards. Sun Cleanser number 2. What if I attack first? Oh, they have protection. It's not even clever to do that. Magus of the Tabernacle. Let's go. Even if I lose this game, we are having a good time right now. Don't stop me now. They call me Mr. Fahrenheit. Is Amped Raptor worth a mana on this board? Is Ocelot Pride worth a mana on this board? All fair questions. They kept the Pride and the Raptor. All right, everything's sticking around. Crazy thing about Magus is it's not legendary. I can just play another one, and then every creature costs 2. Though I have to pay for my creatures as well. That's not even like a good thing. Goblin Bombardment. I am aware of this card. I don't have a Suppression Field. Suppression Field would be great on this board right now, if I could find one. Or one of my indestructible lands, or lands I like to destruct, would be great. Shocked in Sacred Foundry. I have a backup Sun Cleanser in hand if they're trying to Static Prison me again. They do have more lands than me because they have a One Ring and I'm just drawing off the top. Static Prison is back, and they are taking the Cleanser. They get 2 energy temporarily. This is only 1 creature I have to pay for now instead of 2. Thanks for that. And I did draw Suppression Field. Interesting. That makes the ring worse. It makes Bombardment bad. I feel like I need to Sun Cleanser them, though. And then I can Suppression Field next turn. If they get 4 creatures into play, they can pick off... Or I'm going to get another Sun Cleanser in the upkeep because they won't be able to pay for Prison. Yeah, I'm just going to cleanse them. And their ring is my win condition right now. In all seriousness. I probably actually had a good attack there. Because I'm going to have 2 1/4s in front of their stuff this turn. Ocelot Pride stays. Amped Raptor. Flung it at my Tabernacle. Okay. If they put 6 damage into this Tabernacle, and then I just play another one, that would be so cool. All right, now they're under double Sun Cleanser. And we read the Lightning Bolt earlier when they attacked with Amped Raptor, but not Ocelot Pride. But Johnny, that's bad. That gets them the Planeswalker. They can fling the cat. This is also a cat. And a Johnny deals another 3. They're still 1 short. A lot of activated abilities on this board right now. That's another one. Yeah, missing that land drop last turn was harsh. Pillage. That can deal damage to Magus. And they've also gained life this turn for Ocelot Pride. And they ping with Pillage on the way out too. This can finish off the Magus. Johnny can deal 2 to something. Probably me. Yep. Good decision. I don't have to pay for Magus this turn, because it's not in play. Suppression Field White Orchid Phantom doesn't even work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's a lot of freaking cats. Yeah, I guess I just have to Suppression Field here. This sucks. I'm setting up a multi-turn stabilization strategy where I suppress them now and then I Magus them next turn. Okay, they're flinging some cats at me. Taking out one of my Sun Cleansers. And this game has just been a great showcase of the ups and downs of Magic the Gathering. I spent all of the entire round just wishing and hoping to draw Boom Bust. In this game, I've had 2 and they've been terrible. They've been terrible so far. If I get to 6 mana, they could be really good. If I just bust them under Suppression Field and Magus, that is a way to come back from even this deep level of destruction. Second Ocelot Pride, so they're going to have literally infinite cats. Guide of Souls. Perfect sequencing. They make a 2/1. That deals 3, right? Number of creatures you control, my bad. The sequencing didn't matter. I had the thing in play. Yeah, I thought this was cats, but it's creatures. This was dead all along. Born dead. And now they can attack, make a bunch more cats. They don't get a lot of flings here. Amped Raptor, okay. Here comes this. Hit another Ajani immediately. Okay, Magus of the Tabernacle, I need you now. This Ocelot Pride can energy up, and then it's a giant lifelinker, and now the One Ring's not a win con anymore. If it ever was. Yeah, they're over the line. I needed a land in the last couple turns. It's turn 7, I still have 4 lands. I think if I had 5 lands on time, or even 1 turn late, I would have been able to do 2 things. Or if these Boom Busts were online and I was actually holding them back. But I basically mulled to 5 here, and then missed my land drops on top of it. Tough crowd. All right, millions of cats and tokens and warriors. And here's the second Ocelot Pride, popping them up. Suppression Field is the only reason I'm even alive at all, though. Okay, I drew land number 5. I'm going to play this Magus. They'll probably... So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana over there. They have to pay for a large number of these. Look at all these tokens. It might take them their whole 14 minutes on the clock just to stack and resolve these triggers. I'm going to F6 and let that happen. And that forces a Johnny to flip. Now they have 2 of those. They'll just keep the one with more loyalty. But that's not card advantage. I like that. They can keep 5 cats or 5 creatures and still activate a Johnny, which will exactly kill. They have exactly enough mana. 1 boom bust at any point earlier in this game would have done the thing. They might also just have a lethal attack with their existing creatures. They have 12 energy. Oh, you can only buff 1 per turn with Guide of Souls. 6 creatures in play. This is where they have to start paying for them. They can lose 1 more and still do everything they want to do this turn. If they have a creature in their hand for 1 mana, I mean, that's basically just losing 1 to get another. Okay, they're dumping basically all the these creatures. I mean, they have cards in hand and they know what they are, so their plan is probably better than my plan for what they need to do here. They can also just cast Pillage with haste. Yeah, that clears Magus. Yeah, that makes sense. They figured it out. Oh yeah, please tap the ring. Nope, they untapped it. Okay, we're going to lose here. This land showed up really late. Boom bust, pretty awkward. But Pillage clears. The Magus comes in with haste. Don't have a Ghostly Prison. That was fun. I wish we would have rolled out just slightly better. This was so close. I mean, it doesn't look close at the end, but that turn 5, turn 6 window could have flipped it with a land. On to the next round.
We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league.
On the play in round number 4, I'm going to keep my hand. This one can pay out Boom Bust, White Orchid Phantom. All these lands teasing me. Just remember last game when you died with 2 Boom Busts in your hand? Here we are. Opponent's got a Windswept Heath for Temple Garden. Cenote Scout. Are we Bant Merfolk or are we Amalia? I played a Modern League the other day and I was like, oh my god, it's Amalia, but it turned out to be Yawgmoth. And what if it's actually Amalia here? I think it's much better for me to destroy my own land here than theirs. I don't know their basic count. I could also just hit Rustvale Bridge. No, that's the same thing, isn't it? I don't know. It's probably worse. I will remove my legendary land from play. The double Pillage looks like it's probably good here. Oh yeah, Pillage. I actually want cards in my graveyard, not destructed. I'm going to get Basic Mountain and tutor Sacred Foundry. Cool. We're ramping. There's the Overgrown Tomb we've seen. Oh, Birthing Ritual. Sweet. Okay. Oh, they can flip Cenote Scout into a 2-drop if there's a 2-drop in their top 7. I love these creature-y, Dirtle, combo, adjacent decks. These are fun. Cauldron Familiar. Uh-oh. So this is probably Yigra. Is that creature's name? The, like, dog cat thing from the new set that turns all your creatures into foods, and then you can go infinite immediately with Cauldron Familiar. Killing Cauldron Familiar with a removal spell never feels good, but they don't really have a board presence right now, and they do have an engine that cares about them having a creature in play. Play my other Rustvale Bridge, attack for 2. Next turn I can Pillage and Phantom if I feel like I want to do both. And an interesting thing here, I could White Orchid Phantom Sacred Foundry if I'm trying to specifically fuel Pillage. Samwise Gamgee. Whenever a non-token creature enters, make a food, sack 3 foods, return target historic card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, so they immediately have thousands of foods. They can get back the Cauldron Familiar at will. There it is. And now they just need a sack outlet and they win. Whenever a non-token creature enters, create a food. And when... Yeah, okay, so they're a sack outlet away from just lighting me up. This came together quick. This is cool. Okay. So why am I not dead? What's going on here? Sack a creature. Scry 1. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this isn't gated by happens once per turn or anything. Yeah, that's just the combo. Cool. Sweet. Suppression Field going to be really good against this deck. Wrath of the Sky is going to be good against this deck. Granite Magistrate doesn't seem like it matters. Solitude might matter. Lightning Bolt, Prismatic Ending all look good. I don't want to Magus them. Charmaw doesn't really matter. Is Charmaw better than Pillage? Even if Charmaw costs 5 every time I cast it, it's probably not better than Pillage here. Is Ghostly Prison important? Are they going to attack me? I just feel like White Removal and Suppression Field are my bread and butter. Especially Suppression Field. Yeah, I think I want Pillage in. Okay, let's do it. Wrath of the Skies, Lightning Bolt. Not exactly blazing here, but I will keep it. And a Mountain Pass. If they play a Mana Dork like Gilded Goose on one, I'll probably bolt that. I don't think I'm going to bolt a Cenote Scout, if that's what they've got. Cauldron Familiar, definitely not getting bolted. Okay, I've been drained. Pillage, okay. Here's Flagstones. I don't have double white yet. Slightly concerning. If they play the Birthing Ritual, okay, they didn't do that. I can just pillage their Blooming Marsh. Oh, that's way better. Okay. I can play Arena of Glory, so I'm holding up Lightning Bolt. And then I can, boom, target my Flagstones and your Blooming Marsh. It still doesn't solve my double white problem, but no sequence of that would have. Grabbing a Temple Garden in the end step. Basic Swamp. My Pillage does not respect that. At some point, I'm going to have to bolt this cat, but it's not yet. Today is not that day. Maybe now is that day. Like if I bolt the cat and then pillage their green source, that actually looks pretty sick. Yeah, I'll bolt the cat. Okay, double white achieved. Pillage your Temple Garden. And pass the turn. Now we're in the Dirtle phase where I wish I had a bunch of Charmaws in my deck to apply pressure with. Windswept Heath found. I have Wrath ready now, though, for the first time in the game. If they play out like a Samwise or a Birthing Ritual, I can wipe it out. Black-White, Amalia. Okay, I can wipe that out too. Do I care about Amalia? Oh, wow. I can just get the hooks in. The problem with the hooks is that if I Wrath of the Skies for 2 ever, it takes out my Suppression Field. I could play Ghostly Prison this turn, because they have to do something for Amalia to work. This might be super greedy, but I'm doing it. I kind of want them to play out more onto the board. But even if Amalia gets 20 power this turn, they need 2 mana left to attack with her. Oh, I guess I just lose. Fuck. Or no, they need a sack outlet still. Ah! I could have played around it! That's so annoying. I tried to get clever, and I did mention in the deck build that Wrath of the Skies killing your own lock pieces is worth being concerned about. Opponent just tricked me with the Amalia. If they had played out Sam last turn, I'm just obviously Wrathing, or Wrath wouldn't matter. It had to be Suppression Field. Okay, I blew it. On to the next round. I'm on the draw versus Gigantha, which once again might be energy. I am going to keep my hand. I don't like the 2 basic lands. A lot of things in my deck cost double color. I can actually only cast 1 of the 5 spells in my hand right now, but I'm going to have some faith in the deck to deliver. Flooded Strand revealed. Okay, sick. The deck delivered. Do I play Mountain? I think I do. Just in case, like, dash Ragavan or play a Johnny or some shit. I can take my time on Flagstones. I don't have to ram that on turn 2. Elegant Parlor. Ocelot Pride is in the graveyard. Either Hub. Amped Raptor. This can cast a 3. They hit Guide of Souls. Exiled about 100 lands. Guide of Souls is in. I want Guide of Souls dead. That card is a problem for me. Very good. The core engine card of their deck. Hey, another Lightning Bolt. Now I can kill Amped Raptor also. If I want to. To be determined. I can also just put a 2/2 in front of it next turn. Raptor's getting in. Cracking Flooded Strand. And just grabbing Jaggy. Wow, it's very early for that. Double Lightning Bolt. I'm going to White Orchid Phantom my own land here. I'll get basic, plains, and sacred foundry. Okay, and I can just block this Ampraptor. They both have first strike, just normal combat. Pillage. All right. Pillage is happening. Their deck's a lot better at fueling Pillage than mine is. I don't get to play fetch lands because of my, I'm going to bolt this, because of my suppression field mana base, and fetch lands are pretty important when we're talking about getting 5 cards in your graveyard. There's another one. Sacred Foundry, shocked it in. Ocelot Pride, shit, they've gained life this turn. That was such a good attack. Really good sequencing by my opponent there. I played me like a fiddle, I'm going to be honest. Okay, Pillage can come back next turn. I don't know if Pillage even stops that from happening. They just need any land in their deck. And Pillage means I'm not going to Lightning Bolt. Yikes. Okay. Well, I guess I can play Suppression Field and White Orchid. Or am I more worried about Ocelot Pride right now? All right. Suppression Field, White Orchid. Yeah, like I can Pillage plus Bolt to kill their Pillage next turn, which might be useful. And at least Pillage is out of play. And then question mark profit. Hope they haven't sandbagged Arena of Glory. This is what it looks like when the #1 modern deck queues into your silly land destruction deck. Okay, Pillage is here. Kills my White Orchid Phantom. This will guarantee life gain, but Ocelot Pride's also going to connect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're not going to have the City's Blessing, probably. But they do have quite a board state. Sacred Foundry, not helpful yet. Pillage, zap your Pillage. Finish it off with Lightning Bolt. Play my Sacred Foundry. Okay. I need my Pillage to win the game starting next turn. Their next land casts Jeggy, but Pillage is bigger than that. Static Prison card that could be in their deck. Galvanic Discharge. I mean, they could certainly do the thing here. They'd have to play 2 permanents to get the City's Blessing this turn, which is not hard to do from 5 cards in hand. Just land creature does it. Arid Mesa. All right, we slowed that down with the field. That also means they can't cast Jaggy this turn. 3 unknown cards in hand. There's 1 Wrath of the Skies in my deck. That could totally catch me up here. If my Pillage just works somehow, that's cool too. Okay, they were not able to get Blessed by the City. Red, white, white. Here's my Pillage. Kill your cat. This does give them 4 cards in the graveyard to bring their Pillage back, which means I have to be careful about casting Pillage. They're paying the iron price for Arid Mesa. If they have another Surveil land in their deck, they can get the 5 guaranteed. Just whatever this is, put it in the graveyard and you're there. It's actually scarier if they don't put that in the graveyard. They didn't. Oh my god. Okay. Spending red mana in the end step, bolting my face. Okay. So they already had it covered, and then they are just drawing a good card. And bolting my face means they're not worried about Pillage trigger plus bolt to clear Pillage. Static Prison will do. And now it is 1 outer Wrath of the Skies or bust. Oh, sandbag the Arena of Glory too. So this is 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm at 1. Wow, this deck's good. I see why people play it. Oh, did they not exert? Interesting. Is this not a mana ability under the rules? And it doesn't matter, I lose, but maybe the templating of Arena of Glory results in it being not a mana ability somehow. Mana abilities have very specific rules that define them. Like, Deathrite Shaman is not a mana ability. Yeah, I don't know. There's other stuff going on here. I would have thought this was a mana ability. Okay. Let's do that thing that we did. 10 cards, Solitudes, make 12. Really not trying to pillage them. Charmaw is big and slow. Palantir is slow. Suppression Field is good. Phantom's good. Pillage is good. Yeah, I think Boom Bust is the closer here that I'm looking for. Did I not bring in Solitudes last time? Why does this look so different? Magus was so much fun. I definitely want to bring that in again. Maybe I don't bring in Dranith or these 2 extra Solitudes. How do I win then? Palantir, White Orchid beats Pillage are win conditions. Just hard locking them with Magus is a win condition. Okay, I'm going in. I want to Magus them at least once. This hand looks fine. I'll keep it. This ramps with White Orchid Phantom or messes with their mana, but probably not because they play a lot of basics. Ghostly Prison pretty good here. Inspiring Vantage. Oh, this actually doesn't White Orchid Phantom until turn 3. Hopefully it's still fine. Holding back a fetch land. Prismatic Ending. All right, I'm going to play out the Cascading Cataracts. I could have just shoved White Orchid Phantom, targeted their Marsh Flats, but I don't want to use it like that. I don't think having a 2/2 on the board is that essential. They're fetching with Flooded Strand. Goblin Bombardment. Okay, they currently have no creatures. Also, I can end that at my leisure. That could set up a Johnny for next turn. Just wiping that out or jumping forward on mana. I think I want to jump forward on mana. I'll get a basic Plains. I have enough red. Yeah, my whole hand is white. Okay, hope that one turn I left Goblin Bombardment in play doesn't kill me. I don't think that's how the deck works. That's a much more later problem. But they could certainly do cool stuff with a Johnny. Guide of Souls. Sacred Foundry. Yep, there it is. The whole ass combo. I might Solitude here. Is clearing the Ajani that important? I could Prismatic End the Ajani. They're dealing 1 to me. So here's my window. A cat has to die to flip this. This is not a cat. I can also just cast Solitude in the future. I could kill Guide of Souls with Solitude after they make the cat. And then get rid of Ajani. None of that sounds very good. Alright. I'm going to go after Ajani now. Exile that. They'll just fling it. Glad I put that first damage on my face and not on my spirit, so I get to keep that. Prismatic Ending. And this Bombardment is spooky. But so is Guide of Souls. Okay. I'm going to go after the Guide of Souls. Might be bad, but it's happening. I'm at 16. I can draw a card with Sunbaked Canyon, or I can just play Magus as a big ol' 2/6. They have 0 creatures to pay for. I think I'm just going to draw a card here. Hey. Rewarded for playing fast and loose. Get rid of Goblin Bombardment. Now combat's back on the menu, but I'm going to have a 2/6 and make all their creatures expensive. Amped Raptor, flips Guide of Souls. Arid Mesa, pass. Suppression Field. Okay. We can draw out the fetch here and make the Ring and Goblin Bombardment both worse. Fetch and response. Get it out. Flying does kind of dumpster my whole plan here. I can't attack because then they can attack with everything. It sucks when you just draw cards in the order. Like, that's a criticism of decks like this one in all formats. And by decks like this one, I mean ones without card selection or tutors. Is like, if I knew I was drawing Suppression Field, I would have just ignored the Goblin Bombardment. But I didn't know that, and now I'm going to lose to Guide of Souls because I Prismatic Ended that permanent that I didn't actually need to care about. Okay, here's a Ring that can't activate this turn. Removal spell. Oh, Ghostly Prison. Let's go. Okay, I'm going to put them in the Ghostly Prison first. Get the lock pieces in before the Magus shows up. Costs 2 to activate this, then it'll cost 2 to attack, and that's their whole turn. I might just block. Oh, never mind. Or they might take Ghostly Prison instead of my creature. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. And then if they just play a creature this turn, they can attack with both of their shitters. Oh, they're just gassing up this one further? Or they're just storing in their energy. I'm going to block. I'm going to play Magus this turn anyway. Oh, they need their energy for Static Prison. Sun Cleanser? Shit. Okay. We're not going to do it. Maybe this play just doesn't work. I would believe that. Yeah, they can attack me for at least 4 flying this turn. If they play 1 permanent or 1 creature, they can attack me for 7 flying this turn. If they can put many permanents into play, they can attack me for lethal this turn. I really needed that Ghostly Prison. It's not fair that people could just play removal that kills whatever. Oh wow, they're using 1 ring before deciding what to pay for, which means they now can't pay for all 3 of them. Fascinating. One of the Guide of Souls is gone. And if they keep these 2, then that's mana they don't have to cast spells. They pay for the Static Prison, because they have to. I go to 6. I need a removal spell or a Ghostly Prison, or a Wrath of the Skies would do it. Oh, you don't say. So this only kind of does it. I can pay 2 and I lose my suppression field, and then the ring's very good. I could pay 1, I don't lose anything, but I get Ghostly Prison back. But they can beat Ghostly Prison, honestly, pretty easily from here. An attack for 2. Yeah, I'm just wrathing for 2. Sorry, suppression field, I love you. The One Ring's gonna get us. So I might as well bank an energy. X equals 3, but I will spend 2 energy on this. Raptor's gone, Ghostly Prison's back. They gotta get through Tabernacle. One Ring is gonna bury me. But One Ring's also a win con. I say that like their deck doesn't have any other rings or Pillage in it. The hub. There's Pillage. I am actually just dead to Lightning Bolt. I was about to talk about how this has 6 toughness, but that's also my life total. And if they could kill this, they could kill me. So why do anything? They are going face. A Lightning Bolt, a Pillage, or just pass the turn and escape the Pillage they already have. I'll do it. Yeah, these decks are just really good. The One Ring, very good. I'm also pretty confident that Wrath of the Skies is not the sweeper we want in the deck. It would be good right now, though, except no, it's not, because I still lose. All right, super dead. That was fun, though. Okay, this deck, it's fun when you're ahead and the pieces line up. It's pretty bad when your pieces don't line up. And the sideboard plan, where I have to cut all my mana destruction, or like much of my mana destruction, to get everything I need in to be competitive versus energy, then means I don't have any mana destruction, and it's just a matter of time till they can pay for Suppression Field and Ghostly Prison, and it doesn't matter. I wonder what Wrath of the Skies should actually be. Maybe just actual Wrath of God, or some variant thereof, some Pyroclasm that kills small creatures but not my big creatures. But we do want it to kill Eldrazi. The Wrath messing up my own lock pieces came up multiple times in the league, and I thought it would be okay to just sweep 0s, 1s, or occasionally lose a suppression field. But without the card selection, like, unless Palantir is really just cranking from turn 3, you're not seeing more cards, and it's really hard to justify killing one of your precious lock pieces that's keeping your pillow fort up when you sweep up everything else. Yeah, I'd look for like Anger of the Gods, Wrath of God, Brotherhood's End, Deafening Clarion. I don't know. Like, there's a bunch of cards that exist in this space in the colors, and there's probably a better sweeper than Wrath, unfortunately. But this was a delight. A strong start to the league. We beat the Rager, and then we lost to the best deck in the format twice. Lots of room to innovate with this. Magus of the Tabernacle might just be way too cute, and you can put normal cards in there. We just talked about Wrath of the Skies. Maybe you just want a bunch of Solitudes in the main. Maybe this is an Ephemerate deck with a bunch of Solitudes, Charmaw, and Orchid Phantom. Maybe that's a direction you could take it. This was a lot of fun. Unrighteous Job, thank you for sharing it with us. Everyone out there, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, but check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.